My favorite sport to watch and play is basketball. I love basketball. Ever since I was 8 years old, I can remember shooting hoops in my driveway when my dad put up our first hoop. Now, I would watch players like Kevin Garnett, Tracy McGrady, Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan. Those were the only players I really knew. Kevin Garnett, though, was the first player I ever really became a big fan of. When I was in the first grade, I got this poster when he played for the Timberwolves. And then when he went to the Celtics, I became a Celtics fan because whatever team Kevin Garnett played on, that was my favorite team. Then when he left for the Celtics and went to Brooklyn, I was like, I'll still be a Kevin Garnett fan, but the Celtics, I like the Celtics organization better, so I became a big Celtics fan. But as I got older, I didn't look up to basketball players like Kevin Garnett and Steve Nash and Tracy McGrady. Now, the benefit that I got was I got to watch a basketball player that I shared a room with. And that was my twin brother, Wes. And by the time we got to middle school, I couldn't go out for the basketball team anymore. My parents said I was just too slow and I wasn't strong or big enough to keep up with the other kids because of my cerebral palsy. And that really hurt when my parents told me that, but they had to for my safety because I probably couldn't keep up with the other kids and Wes. So I thought I would never play on a basketball team ever again. I was a manager, but I always just sat the bench. But every day after school, I would go to the Y and I would shoot hoops. And I took 200 to 500 shots a day, 5-6 days a week. And sometimes Wes and I would rebound for each other. I'd go to Weston's basketball practices and I'd watch the drills they do, and then I would do the same drills they did at practice. I'd go to the Y the next day and do that drill. Or I'd ask Wes a bunch of questions like, why did you do this? Or, why did you do this move in basketball? And he would explain to me drills and why he made certain moves or why you should put arc on your shot. The first time I ever put arc on my shot was 6th grade. So all of middle school, I just took the ball and I chucked it at the hoop because I was so small that I wasn't strong enough. So I just threw it at the hoop. And every once in a while, I would get lucky and I'd bank it in. But Wes spent many hours with me working on my game and, trying to make me a good ball player. And then I spent many hours by myself. In the summertime, I'd try to probably shoot 500 shots a day at least. And then I'd run and lift and try to get strong for basketball. And it really hurt that I couldn't play with Wes and my friends when I was in the 6th grade. I thought I'd never be able to play on a team again. But then I joined Special Olympics in 7th grade. And the whole new world opened up for me. For basketball, my one main goal was I just wanted to play because I always sat the bench, it seemed like. So then the first game comes and I'm a starter and I couldn't believe it. And I was so excited, but I tried to play it cool on the outside, but on the inside I was like, oh my gosh, I'm starting. This is awesome. And I remember my first game I scored 4 points. But every year I tried to get better and better in my game. And, when Wes heard I was going to play Special Olympics, we started practicing more and more together. And I wanted to be not just a good player, but a great player. I wanted to set standards that Kevin Garnett and Tracy McGrady and Steve Nash did. How I would watch those guys and how in interviews they would talk about how they wanted to be the best. And that's what I tried to do every day in every sport I played, but especially basketball at a very young age. I wanted to be the best player that I could be. Now as I got older, I just knew that other players were more athletic than me, but I didn't give up on my dreams of trying to be a really good basketball player. That was my dream. And I didn't want to give up on my dream, so I tried to work as hard as I could, and do as hard as I could to be better than the next guy. Just like my dad would always tell me, you're small and you have one good arm, and you got to be better than the next guy, so you got to work 10 times harder. And you can't give up when things get hard. Basketball has brought me so many great memories, and I've met a lot of great people. And I went from watching NBA players to, by the time I got to middle school, high school, I was, watching. I wasn't trying to critique my game after NBA players. I was trying to critique my game after Wes. How he handled the ball, how he controlled the game, being point guard. And when I got to college, I had a really good friend named Marcus Franklin, and I tried to watch how he played the game too. And it's guys like that I would imagine I was just as good as when I would play in my Special Olympic games. And the point is that even though I wasn't the best basketball player in the state of Nebraska for Special Olympics, but I practiced like I played at the highest level, and that I was going to be the best. And that's what you got to do. When you go for your goals and your dreams in life, you got to practice or work at it, have the work ethic that you're going to be the best at what you do. Whether it's sports or your job or school or whatever. Go in with that attitude of, I'm going to be the hardest working person out here. No matter what. I don't care if anyone's more athletic than me or maybe smarter than me or bigger than me. I'm going to put in more work ethic than the next guy. And that's what you got to do when you go for your dreams. Is put in the work ethic that it takes to reach your dreams in life and be the best that you can be. Now, I didn't become the greatest Special Olympic basketball player of all time. That's for sure. But I did get it because of my work ethic that I put in through the years, and I didn't tell people that I was going to the gym by myself and putting up 300 to 500 shots. People just kind of knew that I did that, and they knew my love for the game. So I got to do some great moments in basketball. I got to play in a high school basketball game with Wes and my friends. I got to play on the Nebraska basketball court with Wes and some of my Special Olympic teammates for a halftime. We played at halftime of a Nebraska girls basketball game. And then probably my favorite basketball moment where it just felt like all my work ethic paid off was this February. In February of 2020, on Valentine's Day, I got to play in the Special Olympics NBA Cares All-Star Game. I got to play with guys like Horace Grant and Tony Kukoc. I played against Muggsy Bogues, Dikembe Mutombo, just some really great NBA and WNBA basketball players. And even though I didn't reach my dream of making it to the NBA like I thought I was going to do when I was 8, I thought, hey, this is pretty damn good. This is close enough for me. I got to experience that of what it was like if I would have to play in the NBA. And that was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me. And the one thing I thought about before the game was how I would go to the Y and I'd shoot baskets. And I just practice basketball because I love to do it. and I didn't even have a team to play on yet. But I just knew that if I put in the work ethic, that good things would happen. So that's what you got to do in life. You got to put in the work ethic when it doesn't look like things are going your way, or you don't think you're just gonna succeed with your dreams in life. But you got to keep trying, keep going, keep pushing to be the best that you can be. And it may take months, years. It took me 12 years to make it to play in the NBA Cares All-Star game, but I made it. And that's what you can do too. Just keep working at it, and you'll reach your dreams one day.